In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light." And then, I wasn't there, but I like to assume there was light. See, that was my first technology growing up. That's what my mom told me. That's how the way the world works. So I said, okay, this is what I'll take to heart. I guess this will be my technology. And then I learned another interesting thing. They say we are made in His image, which, once again, given to me, I took it as a technology. That's the way my mom told me. That's the way things worked. Now, unfortunately, along that pathway, I decided to become a philosophy student. And now, maybe light isn't real, or the beginning, or God, or my mom, or this talk, or any of us. But no matter what, I feel that if there's one thing about humankind is that it strives, that it tries, that no matter what, it keeps on going and never dies. Now pause. I never told you there was a secret influence of people. You might call it a pit, a murder, something you never heard of. Whatever they call a group these days, I'm gonna show you their ways. I might have been a secret member, and today I come to expose all the things they might have had hidden from you. Or maybe it's something you might have seen before, something we've given to you, but something that you might have thought had little to do with the art of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to come out and say, I am a freestyler. It's something I like to do. Of course, when you tell a young child God speaks and something happens, of course I'm gonna start rapping. I'm gonna try to speak sunshine into each and every one of your minds and reach through and maybe touch your heart and see if we can get something to the part. And I don't mean the meat and the body and the bones. I'm talking about whatever stops you from calling your dome to my home. Now, let's stop. Scene. Maybe I just orchestrated something and painted your dreams, but I'm not gonna stand around and lie in my paint puddles. I know some of you are thinking, man, you talking mad trash. Well, here's my rebuttal. See, as soon as they said my name, there was applause, you know it's me. And I came out to show you how the flow gonna be. And I could already see, maybe some of y'all in the front and back, it's been a long day, possibly ignoring me. Homeboy in the red shirt here, like I know, oh my God, I did not sit here for 2 hours to hear you spend 15 minutes on some poetry. It's okay, I'm just playing with you. Now, no, that's not what I've done. What I've come to give you today is my art, which I also consider a technology. Now, the thing about it is, when we say technology, tech, anything that sounds like that, we give it some kind of respect. You see, we call them scientists, the one who the mind that gets caught up in all these numbers and fractions and matrices and all the things that you think we can't play with. But B, let me tell you, if I could master the alphabet and redesign it to construct it in the ways that make you give me respect, then don't that make me a scientist of the human construction of language, possibly? I don't know. But if it makes me that, it also makes it for you. See, let me explain myself. Human beings, often in this day and age, have a way of thinking about technology as man and machine, but you don't see what's in between. It's the machination. Behind every movement doesn't have to be some inspiration. See, in my philosophy classes in between, when they're telling me stuff and I think the professor gasses, I learned one thing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to play on all my professors like that. One of the great things I've learned in my philosophy classes is the concept of there being no relata, only relations. So this is what I come to you today facing, making it a whole new stance, my mantra, to speak to you, my dedication. See, what I do, here I stand as man, you audience, there's a little thing in between. We call it entrainment. You look at me, you watch. I move my leg, I move my feet, you keep on going, the motion's complete. What we just created, you can call it entertainment, learning, education. But let's face it, it doesn't take just me to do it. And now I come here standing to prove it. See, that's all I really want to prove to you. You can teach the kids about the masters, have them learn their lessons, maybe even shorter, faster, but there's different ways to reach different strokes for different folks. But it's funny because we said when it's our turn to wet it up, we never get a chance to get it up. I came to you speaking, saying, I could have been a man with words, maybe a master, but I reach out if they say mother was nature and man was a father, but all I was called was something, we're not going to say a slur, but rhymes with acid. They gave me no home for my art, my technology that I might have used to reach out and touch people. I made it this far in college, and I think I did a pretty bang-up job. honestly. And to tell you the truth, a lot of these concepts in English and linguistics that I learned, the reason that I can read philosophy texts and it didn't even burn in my mind how someone's speaking from an old dead white man's time telling me how my life is, this is how I learned maybe the spirit of the biz. You speak it to me in music and that's how I do it. But instead, I've seen a lot of people refuse it. See, freestyle and just the art of rapping in general is something made up by a lot of young black men and women like me of the past. It's funny, whenever you try to talk to academia about spitting heat, their blood runs cold and then they make you take the bath. So before I get submerged, I just want a chance to be heard. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you might have thought my talk was misleading. It's the art of technology, and all I'm talking about so far is how our modern arts and our modern technology has only caused, well, my group of people to start bleeding. But instead, I'm gonna take the pain and I'm gonna let it start receding. And maybe it could power me on. Maybe I was stronger without it, scoring shots. What up, LeBron? I know you lost the headband, but man, you should probably get it back. Nah, just kidding. That's what we do when we rap. We toss jokes. That's what we do. We relate to folks. I reach out to your heart and touch mine. And this entrainment we were talking about, it puts us in a bind. And maybe technology doesn't always have to be solid objects. What we do is we impart our will into these things. That's the concept. It takes a human and a machine to make this thing called technology. But once again, if you look in between, there's machinations. So let's refocus our fascination. Ladies and gentlemen, like these men and the troubadours of the past and the speakers of ancient poems and stories before me, I'd like to tell you why I came up here today is not to talk about my own achievements or my own glory. I have to impart upon you a song. You guys want to hear it? Now, I want you all to implore me. I know you might think, oh my gosh, sometimes I don't want to sit through it all again. He's just going to bore me. It goes to your head, and then it leaves all four of them in entrainment dead. But no, when this gets reproduced, I want you to know you hear when you saw it. Now I'm going to pause it. And if you wouldn't mind, I would like to share with you a story dear to my own heart. And in my opinion, the greatest technology that I could ever present to you today. Say, baby, if you understand me now. You should have seen a little girl out there named Nina. It was so beautiful if you've seen her. Singing, pulling on her heartstrings, tugging. Even when they thought she was bugging, she still went out there for art. To show you that no matter how far apart you are, there's still something in us. Something that even when we can't see the strings that keep us together, all we need is sound sometimes to change the tone of weather. If they tell you growing up that some being, something that you might have not even been seeing can give you words that give power, then what does that say about material? I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm a philosophy class, and maybe that makes me not think of something so serious going on, repetitive technology. I want to take the current definition and put a stop. We deaden it today. Because I want to introduce to you the greatest genius the world has ever been introduced. But instead, they called her a flute. And now the opportunity was missed. And allow me to reminisce. If you think it might have possibly gone amiss. I had a dream once. Now, I don't remember it. Because I only exist to take the dream of someone else and share it. Me and her. Sitting on the park way before all the troubles of adulthood starts. We sitting there laughing, kicking it, rapping. She said, man, one day I'm gonna be the greatest. I said, you can't even make it to class on time. How you gonna get your class stone rhyme? You think it's grade A, but I think maybe you should call Mayday. Your shift's going down, sweetie. You ain't gonna make it today. She said, boy, Bet money I rap better than you, sound more clever than you, make more cheddar than you. And I said, well, baby, bring the bread. And she spit off a fury of rhymes, and they kept on playing over and over in my head. And I remember one more time, the words she spoke and she said, and I thought, man, sorry I didn't tell you who you are. And I watched her walk off, playing a song, and I knew she'd be a star. Coda, 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 hold up, no, Coda, you're not playing the coda. They're trying to reach around, make it a quota, and say now, she can't do it. She can't use this music, she can't use it, they refuse it, they lose it. Isn't this all she gave to you? Isn't this a heart? Isn't this where it starts? It's the same thing they did to me. Oh, baby girl, they're gonna peel you down to the bone. They will never leave you alone. It keeps on coming, it keeps on running. You can keep on spitting these lines trying to entertain people, but it comes down to at the end of the day, they wish they had never seen you. That's all you remind them of. Something that should have never been learned. A gift that should have never been earned. You were brought to this country in the past. Looking back, we never cared about your black ass. Not once, not twice, not never. I don't care how many years pass. You are never gonna get more clever no matter what you do to this English language. No matter what you can say it and speak in Sanskrit and have them talking in tongues. But I'm gonna tell you, it's not the one. Sometimes you have to organize the chaos in the mind to make a message sound better. But she couldn't take it. She couldn't handle the pressure. And now all that's left is something of memory that I could never forget. And all I could do now is impart. As the music goes on, never repeats, it just starts. It plays again. And I remember the memories of me and my friend, we were sitting, she was kicking, going off in the swing, and she said, yo, all you rappers want to sit here and jockey over who's the king. You ain't think there could be a queen? You ain't think there was space for me in your scene? There's already not space for me in theirs. And now what you gonna do? I give you my heart, you don't care. So I said, I still think you might make it one day if you try hard enough. She went out for 6 days, off in a rush. And they tore her apart. Gave her resounding boos before the music starts. And all I got left, because they said she couldn't do it, is enforcement that this was music. Composer played a note. And on the 7th day, God rested. And maybe that's why I keep on rhyming today, because I can think I have more time invested. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you one of the greatest creations from a being who you never got to see, who never made it. I'm sorry if you found this speech misleading. I only wanted an outlet to show that what you make out of machine, I can make from immaterial. I can show you what it sounds like, the heart of a little girl, even when it stops beating. Thank you.